Hi there and welcome to my channel. If you haven't seen this face before, my name is Abigail and I make videos about being a mum and my experiences associated with that. Now today's video is going to be a chatty one. It's going to be about the topic of, am I ready to have a baby? Now I have to disclaimer at the start of this. This is my experience and this is my opinions, this is what I think. It might not be right for you, but yeah, this is just my experience and my opinions. So this is almost a video directed at me about a year ago when I was thinking, am I ready to have a baby? Like, how do you know you're ready to have a baby? Because I had no idea. I was watching these videos and I was thinking, like, I don't know if I'm ready. When will I be ready? What are the parameters you need to meet to be ready to have a baby? What are the things you need to hit in terms of a person? Do you need to be this, this and this? Does my career need to be in this, this or this place? There's so many things that could potentially come into it, but in this video I'm just going to say that it comes down, in my opinion, to being quite simple and to a few quite simple things. So my first thing that I would say is that if you're waiting for the right time, then I hate to break it to you, but there isn't any such thing. There is literally no such thing as the right time to have a baby. Whether you are old, whether you're young, whether you're in the middle, there's no technically right time to have a baby for you, because your situation and your life in this little particular place that you are on the earth, in this particular city, in your particular family, there's no formula that tells you when you're ready to have a baby. There's just no such thing, and it's quite important to remember that. And I was kind of forgetting that when I was thinking about a year ago, when I was thinking, am I ready to have a baby? Am I ready to start a family? So having said that and saying that there's no right time to have a baby, there are a few things that I think it's kind of important to consider and to know how you're going to resolve so that you don't kind of get thrown in the deep end after you actually have your baby. So the first thing, and this is the thing that put me off from having a baby for about a year, because I was just thinking about this too much, and that is, financially, am I ready? Do I have enough money to have a baby? Now, this is speaking from my personal experience. So I live in the UK, I live in Scotland, so it might be different if you live in America and you have things like health insurance to think about. It might be a different situation. But for me, financially, I probably was never going to be ready either, because I was thinking too far ahead and all the potential expenses and this and that and the next thing. And while yes, you do need to have some money, you don't need to be rich. And that's what I found after having my baby as well. You don't need to be rich to have your baby. And so I have a husband. I'm very lucky to have a husband, and he supports us financially at the moment. He's the one that kind of takes on all the bills, but he doesn't have some high-flying amazing job. He's kind of working towards his own career goals, but we're not there yet. And my career's I'm on maternity leave, so I get a tiny amount of pay from that, but nothing much at all. But we've made it work. So you have to think about, how much money do you need for yourself and for your family and for the standard of living that you want? So my standard of living isn't super high. I've read on forums before that people say, I earn 100,000 a year and I can't make it work, I don't have enough money to live. Now I think that's a bit ridiculous, unless you're going on a holiday every month of the year. But I suppose it's true, for your standard of living, how you want to live. Do you want to go on holiday every month of the year? That you need to think, how am I going to financially make that work? Am I going to go back to work straight away? Am I going to give up work? You need to think how that's going to work. So for me, it was all about the budgeting. I budget like crazy now. We don't spend a lot of money, but at the same time, we're not restrictive. And we don't have a huge amount of money. We try and save some of it as well. And it is quite difficult if you've not got as much money as maybe other people that you see around you having babies. But it is possible, and we found in our situation we can make it work, and that you can make it work too. So this is the biggest concern for me at the moment. We're making it work with very little money. So I would say, yes, you do need a bit of money, and you need to be aware of how you're going to survive on your budget, but you can do it with very little money. So the next thing is quite obvious, but I would just say make sure that you have the right support in your family. So if you're married, you obviously have your husband as your support. If it's your partner, your boyfriend, whoever, make sure that they are 100% on board with having this baby, so that you'll have the support afterwards. But also from your family, from his family. Do you live close? Do you live far away? Do you maybe want to get a bit closer before you have a baby, so you have that kind of support and that kind of babysitting backup? Think about these things and kind of put them into action before you have the baby, just so that you can, or before you even start planning the baby, just so that you're going to have the right support in place. Because one thing that is very important for having a baby is having a community to bring them up in, and to having the support for you emotionally and physically, because without that it's much more difficult. So the next thing that I would say is very obvious, but you need to want to have a baby. So not your husband, not your mum and dad wanting to be grandparents, like you need to want to have a baby, otherwise it's going to be 100 times more difficult and you're going to start to resent your baby. So you need to really within your core want one, and that's in my opinion, that's pretty much almost the only thing you kind of need to have a baby, is you need to really want one. So the next thing that I would say that is quite important is, are you physically healthy? So this could be whether are you smoking, maybe it's a good idea to give up smoking if you want to have your child. Are you in physical good health to have a baby? If you're not sure, go and see your doctor, go and see your GP, talk about it with them, and make sure you're at the kind of height of your health, because that'll ensure that your baby, when it comes out, is also healthy as well. So that's pretty much it. Those are the things that I think that you need to have in place in order to have a baby, and in order to bring up the best healthy baby and have the healthiest home that you can possibly have. But you might even need less than these things, you might need a couple more. This is just kind of an outline, this is just my opinion, what I think. And what I really like about YouTube is that you can now comment down below and tell me what you think and your opinions and what you feel like you need in order to have a baby. But this is more just to kind of help you feel better, I suppose, if you think you're not ready and you're not ready physically to have a baby, but you're ready mentally to have a baby. Because mental readiness is much more important than having the physical things in place, like money and like other things, like a nice house, all these kind of things. Your mental state is much more important than having a baby. And yeah, I hope you feel freer to just go and start your family now, because when I sat and thought about all these things, like about a year ago before I had my baby, or just over a year ago now, I just was putting it off because I was thinking I need to have all these things in place. I need to have a lovely house, I need to have a good job that I can go back to, and it's not the way it's worked out. It's actually worked out really well. I don't have this amazing house, I don't have this amazing job, I don't have this amazing life, but I do have an amazing baby and I don't regret a second of it. So thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more video about being a mum and my experiences and have more discussions around these kind of topics, then please subscribe. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye everyone.